Novell Green is a Christian rapper based in West Palm Beach, Florida. Better known by his stage name Vell P, Green shares his story of working in the entertainment industry, the importance of transparent music, and a tragic moment that nearly took his life.
Novell Green. Um, I'm married. Was a father of three. All in within my marriage. Um, I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian rapper, songwriter, promoter, pretty much anything in entertainment. You know, most of it is based on the fact that I want to do something to tell, further along what I'm doing. So everything I do is surrounding that. It keeps me in that business. So when it's time for me to not really be in front of a mic, I still got something to do, whether it's writing songs for others or doing videos for others, creating for others. I love being creative. So all the stuff I do is pretty much in that same realm. I moved in West Palm Beach back in like 2009. I'm originally from Broward, born and raised Broward General, my whole life. I got married in 2003. My wife was a part of a church she was born in, and that church originated from New Jersey. So she moved down with the church when she was about like 13, 14, something like that. So the church that we are in, the church she grew up in, and the church was in Broward at the time when we got married. And then the church moved up to Palm Beach, bought a new land, and built a brand new church that way. So that's what we, moved up with the church to Palm Beach. But grew up in Broward, graduated high school and everything in Broward, South Plantation High School. And pretty much, as far as music and stuff, I've been writing all my life, since I was maybe like in elementary school, doing things a little here and there, not really taking it serious. So just something I love to do. On my first talent show when I was in the fourth grade, I sung a song, "Come See About Me," by Diana Ross. It was me and the other guy. We did a little duet thing, made a routine and everything, and everybody was doing all kind of different things, like rapping and this and that. And we did that song, and the crowd ate it up. We did it twice. We did it in the cafeteria in the morning for school, and then we did it that night. And then we ended up winning like 2 coupons from McDonald's at the time. It was cool. It was cool. But even back then, I just thought it was just something I was just doing. And I wrote stuff like poems and things like that. And at the time when I was younger, when I was writing, I always used to just think I was just imitating the people I saw. So I thought it wasn't really my talent, because I was like, when I write, it was High Five was out, the group High Five. I remember writing it, and I remember songs they was making. I was like, I'm gonna write a song like High Five. So I thought I was imitating them, not knowing that was pretty much my gift, because all gifts are inspirations for others. So you write a great song, somebody else gonna write another song that might not be the same song, but it was inspired by something else. So coming up, I was like, that was that. I didn't really get really passionate about the music sincerely until I was like maybe in high school and a little older. I became a Christian like in 2000 when I was about 20. I think I was 20 years old, 21 years old, something like that. So I was doing music, secular music, writing, all that stuff before, and I was going to the studio. And at the time, it was a place called Shut 'Em Down Records. It was in Fort Lauderdale. And a dude was like somewhat known, like drug dealer or whatever, guy. And he used to get a lot of young kids, a lot of different people to the studio, because he had like a $250,000 studio in his backyard, in his back shed area or whatever. He built in his backyard. So he had all his equipment, and everybody used to come in there and do things. And so I was picking up, when I started going there, because before I was just doing little stuff at my house, recording on my own radio, doing little stuff here and there. And then I met them, and we was going to the studio doing this and that and the other. But I started catching myself doing things I never did. Like I always, even though I wasn't a Christian, my mom always had me going to church. She told me when I was living with her, I had to go to church at least once a week, because I always work. So if you ain't going on Wednesday night, you're going on Sunday. One of those 2 days. If you got to go to work on Sunday, then go a little bit, an hour before, go to work, whatever. So I was doing that, but I was still living my life, whatever. But I always pride myself on certain things I didn't do. Like I didn't do drugs, I didn't go to jail, things like that. And then I end up like start smoking weed, at the studio with a different dude that was smoking weed. And I wasn't doing it because I was doing it because everybody else was doing it. It was around me, Then I just find myself not just doing that, but then being around people that I ain't even really know, but I'm only around them just to smoke weed. I find myself like with somebody that I can't remember their name right now, but just going somewhere, they calling me just to go smoke weed, and around their friends that smoke weed. And I just remember just sitting there like, who is this person? I don't know these people, So I began to just kind of like look at myself and see what was going on in my life, and a lot of things was getting bad. I had to end up going to jail too because I was driving suspended license. It wasn't nothing like criminal stuff, but it's still what it was. So I'm like going to jail. I'm in jail for one night. I'm smoking weed. My life ain't really where it needs to be. I'm a young man, and one day I just went to, I went to church one day and it just really hit me. I need to like change of everything. So of course, once I did that, I let go of what I was doing in the music I was writing before, and I just really wanted to start writing music that I was really truthful about. The stuff I was writing about before was like what I think people want to hear. They want to hear about how I'm already rich. They want to hear about this and that and the other, that stuff that the people write about that's not always true, So, but I was like, this is my truth. This is what I truly believe in. I believe in God. I believe in encouraging people, and I believe in the message of that. So I began to, convert. I converted over that way.
Little boys run, things got hard. Grown men stay, we praise God. Little boys run, things got hard. Grown men stay, we praise God.
What I do is not traditional gospel music, like the church, and everything when it comes to tradition. Nobody wants change of that, So now even more than before, it's more accepted than before, but it's still not what people initially want to receive because it's different, And one thing, a lot of people have to understand is like, music wasn't made by the world. It was initially started, in heaven. And then the person who was over that was Satan. And it gave him a big head because he was right up under God. And he fell because of that, And you see a lot of that in music. They get it, especially in rap music, And so I had to learn, number one, how to give a message that the people receive. I had to learn how to write it to reach audiences I want to receive the message, because okay, you have people in the church that not all of them want to hear rap. You have the young ones that want to hear rap, but the rap they get used to, it's tight work. It's very critical. You got to be nice. You have to be on point, and they're gonna compare it to what they hear out there. So you got to be up to date with what's going on. So over years, I learned my own craft, my own stuff as an artist, to build on perfecting it always.
Christ the head of my life. The reason why I sing, yeah, he blessed me so nice. That's right. I get sick and he my remedy. Others will forsake, but he always remember me. Hate can sting like a bumblebee, but he always cover me. His love, yeah, it humbles me.
Back in 2011, I had a diving accident at the beach up here in Palm Beach. It was March 19th, 17th or 19th. One of those, March 19th, I think it was. I wrote a song called Stress No More on a Friday, the 18th. And it was basically something about no matter what you go through in life, don't stress about it, God got you. And that was the song I was like trying to branch out. It was one of those songs I knew what type of song I wrote with circumstances in it. Because a lot of times, a lot of music I made before was just more about praising God and all this stuff like that. This song was like more of a thing where I'm trying to reach out to people like, listen, we might be going through some different things. No matter what it is, God got you if you believe in God. You say some things like that and it's gonna be tested. You gotta be tested. So the next day I go to the beach with my family. We supposed to be going out there really like being in the sand, really take some pictures, family pictures, and just really chill. So we took the pictures, and my wife was like, yo, you gonna get in the water? And I'm like, nah, I ain't come out here getting no water. That water cold. And she hates when I tell her story because she say, you act like you blaming me. I'm like, no, this is what happened. So some dude went and got in the water, right? And she was like, look at him. He went and got in the water. Like, she can give her account. This is what I heard. This is how I feel about what happened. So she's like, he wouldn't got in there. I was like, man, whatever. Okay, he got in the water, whatever. Ain't nobody gonna upstage me in front of my wife. I go get in the water too. Like I said, it was cold. So my idea was to, it's if it's the pool, you just gonna dive in. You can try to walk in there, but it's the beach. So I said I'm gonna run and I'm gonna dive in. Because the way how the beach is, you run a couple of feet and the waves come in, you in there. So that was my thought process. So I went and I ran, and I went and dove in, and I don't know if the water had receded. I don't know if I just was not far. I know I was not far enough. Because when I rolled in, boom, I immediately hit my head. I just bam. So my eyes were closed, and I'm just like stunned. So I opened up my eyes, and I was underwater, and I was paralyzed. Like, no response. My body would not move. It was like, get up, move, and there was no response. It was like I was being held down. Like, we tell our hands and our body just to move just by thinking it, a split second, and it's doing it, and my body would not move. It was like I was trying to move. It was like nothing, and I was underwater, and I was like, yo, I'm about to die, and I was like, yo, this is it, and I just remember just saying, like, Lord, please forgive me for my sins, any wrong I've done. Please save me. And when it happened, I floated to the top of the water, just above water, just to be able to look above water. But I'm not controlling myself. I'm just at mercy of whatever's going on. So I'm above water, and I see my wife standing at the shore. And my daughter said she was somewhere near. But she was like 7 years old at the time, so I couldn't see or feel, I don't know, whatever. So I began to call out to her, and help me, And my wife, she just standing looking at me all like what you doing? Because I play a lot, and she can't swim, but so I kind of like the waves was moving, stuff like that. So I kind of went down again and came back up again. And I'm like, yo, I can't die now. I'm like, yo, I can't breathe, I can't move. I'm not playing. Come get me, please. And then she kind of came out, and she got people like, could you come help me? And they began to come up help her, and they pulled me out. And they pulled me out just up on the shore, and I'm laying there, and I'm on my back, and I'm just like looking up at the sky, can't move nowhere, and I'm just like, thank you, Jesus, just giving God praise, because I don't know if I'm gonna die right now. Whatever gonna happen. And then I remember the water coming up and rushing up on my face. She's like, we can't move. I'm like, listen, y'all can't let me. I'm like, yo, I can't die. Don't let me die. Like right here, I'm out the water. Y'all gonna let me just drown because I can't cover my face. I can't do nothing. And I remember it was like so much going on, but I was tuning them out. I was just like thinking God, just look up at the sky. And I remember them even arguing. People like, everybody can't talk to him and do this and that, and you hear all this going on, and I'm just like, yo, just chill out. Then I can hear my wife in the background. She's calling on the phone to her brother or whoever, and I hear her crying. So I'm like, yo, tell my wife to calm down. Like, they called the ambulance, they coming. So, but I'm like, God gave me a peace. Like, I was still like rational. I was like, yo, tell my wife calm down. Tell her don't forget the shoes, the cell phone, the car keys. Don't forget none of that stuff, And I'm just like, nobody thinks about that kind of. They just, but I'm just like at a peace. I can't feel nothing from my neck down. And my kids was there. At the time, I didn't have my son. It was just my daughter was 7. The other one was 3, and they're there. And we go to the hospital, and they do like X-rays and CAT scans, and they're like, so we see like breaks in your neck or spread. They see like they see a break. They showed me the piece where there's a break there. And nerve damage in my spine, and they're like, you most likely have to get surgery for that, but everything else, you have to just come back. So we figure you might get the feelings back, So I'm in the hospital, and as the paralysis was like kind of going away a little bit, it started here at my neck. And I was in so much pain. Like, oh my God, I was in so much pain. The pain was so bad that even when I went to sleep, in the dream, I could feel the pain, and it was like I was being tormented. Like, yo, you can't even escape this pain in your sleep. And I was in the hospital for a couple of weeks, and the doctors, when I was there, the doctors and nurses telling me other patients that was in the same position that I was in, the same accident, that either died or was paralyzed for life. And, you know, after being there for a while, I went home with a neck brace on, was on the couch for a while, for months or whatever, and, you know, when I came back, maybe like 2 months later, you know, I had to learn how to walk again. I was able to walk, but at the time I couldn't even feel it. I'm walking, but it was so numb everywhere at the time. You know, I'm walking like, feeling like I'm walking on a bunch of pillows under my feet, just kind of fluffy, just barely feeling the ground. So the doctor, he looks, you know, at the x-rays and the x-rays and CAT scans. They didn't even see the breaks they saw before. They didn't see none of that. You know, and he's kind of, you know, maybe it was a issue with the, come on, man, y'all professionals. Ain't no, y'all saw what y'all saw. It was there. I saw it. But I was in the hands of God, you know. So I didn't have the surgery they said that I needed, none of that stuff. And as you see, you know, I'm able to lift my hands and use my hands and feet and everything else, and basically healed by God. And that situation brought me closer to the understanding, not just, you know, knowing God, who He was to save me, but that was the deliverance. That was a miracle. And when you're more personal, like I just started talking about my accident that happened to me in 2011 in my music. Like I never really worked it in. Like, so when I begin to talk about it, you know, people begin to see, you know, the real thing that happened in your life when it comes to God. You can talk about the Word of God all day, and some of, you know, it'll be, you know, the Word of God does what it does. But when it comes to some people that's like, they don't heard it all, and they just like, what's real? Because they need to relate it to their life. When they see how it's been related to your life and how it affected you in some real situations, then they be like, oh, that's real. People want to feel something that's real. You know, they want to be shown something that's real, like where they can just like, oh, really, they can touch it. They can touch that this happened to you. They can touch that you dealt with this such a situation. So when we're transparent, that opens a door for somebody that might have been in the same situation. Like I tell you, the situation with my eye. You know, I was born with this defect. My eye was like the size of a baby's eye. I didn't grow beyond that. So I used to wear prosthesis, which is you know, artificial eye when I was younger. So coming up, I wore that. My mom got me when I was maybe 4 years old, so I can go into school and try to be as normal as possible with other kids. Now it wasn't always, you know, it didn't fit like the same way, so people could still notice something was different. So I had little teases going through high school, not little teases, a lot sometimes, crazy. You know, so going up through the years, I had it and I wore it, you know. As I got older, I would wear it in and out less and less sometimes, you know. And I got to a certain point where I was like, I'm not wearing that no more, you know. And it would stop me from getting girls. And it would stop me from getting my wife, you know. It didn't stop me from all that stuff, you know. And it was like, even when people would find out, they were like, oh, I never know, or it don't, you know, bother me, whatever. So a couple of weeks ago, whenever I take pictures, or go to any shows and events, I always wear my shades or my glasses. I'm not getting on stage without them. You know, if I'm taking pictures, I don't want to take no pictures without them. Everything. And I remember my bandmate, she's always used to tell me, you know, you don't need that, you know, you this and that. And I tell her, nah, I'm not ashamed of it, you know, I'm this and that other. But then I didn't realize that I really kind of was still. Because I got ready to take a picture one day, and I was in the car, getting ready to take a picture, and I was like, wait, where are my glasses at? Where are my shades at? And I was like, wait a minute. You don't have to do that. So I took the picture without it, and I posted. I said, you know, it took me 30-something years to actually to accept me as me, to know that, you know, God created me, and I was like, yo, my mom thinks I'm handsome, and my wife do too. So I'm good, you know. But I had to say that, and I was really speaking out loud to myself, saying that, like, dude, you was getting ready. You know, and then I got like over 500 likes on the picture and a bunch of comments from people that never say anything to me on Facebook. You know, it's on Facebook. And because I was transparent, you know, it drew them in to me because I was being open about what I was dealing with, you know? And a lot of the people, they never even knew or whatever the case may be, but the fact that I was open, the transparency of my testimony and what I was dealing with that I never opened up to anybody about drew them in. And it let me know, like, you gotta be that way in your music because that's what they're listening to. It's what's gonna draw them in. So the purpose of my music is to encourage and enlighten and draw them to God. That's one of the real ways. You have to really believe in what you're doing beyond just a dollar value. You know, you have to really know why you're doing this and be ready, because it's not an easy road. You know, you can't look for a quick jump to success or whatever you think success is. It's not that. You know, I believe in God, and I never put limitations on God. So I believe, he could have made me successful 10 years ago and reach different things, or he can still even do it when I get older, when I shouldn't, because everything that God does doesn't always make sense to everybody else. So you have to just believe in what you're doing and let God lead. If you really believe in God, you gotta really let Him lead and just be willing to go in it for the long haul.
To learn more about Novell Green and Vell P Music, contact 561-541-6231.